even quicker. Standing in their way today, an upset-minded group of Razorbacks out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. 7th-ranked team in the nation looking for a sweep on the road in the SEC as they have pulled themselves level with Texas in the SEC standings. On this final day, you look at where we currently stand. Top 4 teams are in line for a double bye, while the Arkansas Razorbacks and Texas Longhorns looking at least 1 day off before beginning their SEC postseason tournament in Lexington this next week. One final time, we welcome you to Red and Charlene McCombs Field this regular season. Lincoln Rose, along with the former Longhorn and Bella Dayton. And Bella, Razorbacks have gotten the better of the last 2 contests. A 2-0 victory back on Thursday. Yesterday, a come-from-behind win, 4-3 the final.
Arkansas has dominated this series, largely due to its pitching staff, which has limited Texas. The Arkansas Arms look to do it again as Arkansas goes for the sweep here in Game 3.
We remind you of the tremendous arms we've already seen for the Razorbacks, helping lead them to a couple of wins over number 5 Texas. Robin Herron, nearly a complete game victory back on Thursday. 8 strikeouts, including 3 against the red-hot bat of Katie Stewart. And then yesterday, in relief, Sailor Timmerman came into a ball game where the Razorbacks were trailing. By the time her night was done, it was a victory for Arkansas as she would fan 7 along the way, not allowing a hit to any Longhorns.
Herron super successful with that rise ball in the upper 60s and then leaving Texas hitters stuck with that changeup. Timmerman, 2 strikeouts per inning pitched with that rise ball up in the zone, and then that drop ball out of the zone to change eye levels for Texas.
It'll be Herron getting her 2nd start of the weekend. It'll be a rematch of the aces, Herron and Kavon, on this final day of the regular season in Austin. The Razorbacks will go with the same lineup that produced that come-from-behind win yesterday, really on the strength of the bottom third of their order, as Riho, Wyckoff, Miller, all part of a 2-out rally. In fact, yesterday of the 7 runs between Texas and Arkansas, 6 of the 7 scored with 2 outs already on the board. You see Arkansas just continuing a fantastic year with runners in scoring position, able to capitalize yesterday. Tegan Gavon will be in the circle for Texas for a 3rd straight day. Yesterday, she came in relief, just trying to find that elusive 3rd out in that 5th inning, in which Arkansas scored all 4 of their runs. Last year's most outstanding player in the Women's College World Series, the All-American, looking for one more home win before they head off to Lexington for the SEC tournament.
Tegan Gavon, just a dominant arm in the circle, 12 complete games, 173 strikeouts, just someone you can utilize as a starter in relief if she needs to be. She knows what it takes to be a national champion, and I'm sure she's guiding her team along the way.
111 of those 149 pitches were in her start, where she faced all but 1 Arkansas batter back on Thursday. She has yet to throw a pitch these first 2 days of the series with a lead, and came in trailing against Arkansas and kept them at bay the rest of the way, but Texas could not overcome the lone deficit on Friday evening here in Austin. Reagan Johnson finally had a chance to wreak havoc once she got on the base paths, scoring from 2nd in that productive 5th inning with 2 outs. She'll try to set the table here against Gavon. Back on Thursday against Tegan, had a nice 9-pitch plate appearance. See what she can do here on this final day in the 5-1-2. That'll peel down, did not swing. Gil Zayas, our home plate umpire. Mark Corris and Robert Guest out in the field. The 1-1 from Kavon. Johnson will pop up the bunt and trip on her way down the line. Even with her speed, probably was not going to beat the throw over. And it has a little chuckle about it. Usually you talk to the on-deck batter to talk about the pitches you saw. She might have just been talking about whatever she tripped over. As Reagan Johnson, known for her hurdling prowess back in her high school days. But she'll be recorded or out, first out here in the 1st inning. Gives way to Brindley Bain. Bain was 1 for 2 on Thursday against Kavon, along with a walk. yesterday. We saw Brindley reach base a couple of times on a walk in the fourth and then an error in that fifth. Easy to forget Arkansas in that productive fifth inning also left bases loaded when it was all said and done, when Kavon got the final out via strikeout. So a 2-run win for Arkansas back on Thursday. Yesterday, a 1-run comeback win after Texas plated 1 run in each of the second, third, and fourth innings, including the Hannah Wells home run for the freshman. And the count 2-2 now to Brindley Bain.
Brindley Bain, just a great set of eyes as a freshman. Based off her stats and just the ability to be content in the box, you wouldn't even think she was a freshman.
13-game on-base streak. Gets a hold of this one out towards right, but Asher Maloney able to track it down. 2 away. Maloney among the 7 seniors being recognized today. In last year's second-team all-conference in the SEC, and Texas's first go-round in their new home in the SEC. And Texas went 16-8, finishing 3rd last year in conference play. They can still match that record with a win today. Martinez over to first. 3 up, 3 down inning with Tegan Kavon back in this circle, getting the start today. Let's see if Texas can get another early start at the plate. Longhorns looking to strike first here in the home half of the first inning. Only one change in terms of the 9 names you see from yesterday. That's senior Katie Bennett, who will kick off the bottom third of the order. Meanwhile, Katie Stewart in the on-deck circle for Texas, hoping to have a base runner on in front of her, as Kaden Henry once again will be setting the table for Texas. Robin Herron, again, those 8 strikeouts. And a fantastic showing back on Thursday, a shutout performance.
Yeah, Herron mentioned in a post-game interview that she was able to just work ahead in those counts, making her feel more comfortable, and then it led her to be able to expand that zone.
She recorded all but the final 2 outs in the circle, giving way to Burnham. Kaden Henry was 0 for 3 with a strikeout against Herron, the Arkansas ace. We saw Henry yesterday with a couple of stolen bases. As her impressive streak, or impressive form out there on the base paths, continues now. 25 successful stolen bases and 27 attempts for the table setter for the Longhorns. The 1-2 from Herron. Not tempting.
Both lineups, seeing these pitchers early in the series, it's really all about who can adjust. What are they telling their teammates? What are they seeing to be able to hop on the pitcher early?
This one will barely get out of the infield, but certainly within the range of Carly Davison. And Herron going 6 in the third until finally giving way to Burnham in relief. Just scattering those 3 hits, no runs, and the 2-0 victory on Thursday.
8 strikeouts, 76 pitches thrown, 50 throughout the first 5 innings.
She struck out Katie Stewart all 3 times. Stewart caught looking at strike 3 on that last meeting between these two. We'll see what kind of adjustments this Longhorn lineup is able to make today against Herron. Top third of the Texas order was just 1 for 9 against Robin. That one hit coming from Vivi Martinez, who's in the on-deck circle. 24 home runs this year for Katie Stewart. New single-season record here at Texas.
Herron throwing that rise ball through different phases of the zone. Is Texas going to adapt? Are they telling each other, be on top, be on time for that, see everything belt down?
That one not tempting, 2-2. Katie Stewart not just breaking records, but also coming close to breaking windows. She literally put a dent in the building behind the left field wall earlier this year, just demolishing a home run ball.
He said that you should put a Longhorn on the building, and every time Katie Stewart hits it, everybody should get a free hot dog.
They have since patched things up, but a lot of fans out there hoping to have a K-Stew ball sent their way. Payoff pitch. That's ball 4. Texas has their first base runner of the day here in the home half of the first inning. Katie Stewart on with 1 out for Vivi Martinez. First free pass allowed by Robin Herron in her 2 starts this weekend. That'll just get up and over the net. Middle of the infield for Arkansas, pinched in, hoping for a chance to turn 2 to get out of this inning. Right now with 1 on, 1 out. If they don't turn 2, Reese Atwood gets to come to the plate. Zero expectation from Ella McDowell at third for Vivi to just try to slap one her way. Martinez on the back edge of that batter's box. This will hang up there. Coming in is Bain. Out is Davison, who makes the catch, and Stewart can't stray from first base. And she gets back quickly 2 away.
Vivi, pull side hitter. You can see that the infield pinches the middle more than not. Outfield pretty much stays in the same spot.
Gives way to the first team All-American from a year ago, Reese Atwood. No Longhorn has driven in more teammates than Reese throughout her Texas career. She set that mark last year and continues to build on it here. And she helps Texas defend their national championship from 1 spring ago. Katie Stewart with a 1 out walk. 1 batter later, still on first.
Reese, just a great hitter, mentally, physically, has recently struggled, but once you get that first hit, it's kind of, you feel back you're in a routine.
Reese went 1 for 3 against Herron on Thursday. Mentioned 2 of Texas's 3 runs yesterday were with 2 outs, while all 4 of Arkansas's runs were with 2 outs. Atwood trying to continue that trend here. Chance for Robin Herron to get out of the inning. The count will stay at 2-2. You see the fantastic crowd here on this final day of the regular season. And as emotional as senior day gets, I think everybody in attendance is pretty optimistic that this won't be the last time they come out and enjoy some of those hot dogs and beverages here at McCombs Field. Pretty optimistic they'll have a regional, and they'll hope for a super to follow as Atwood pulls this one foul into the Texas bullpen. And both these teams came into this final weekend among the best in RPI in the nation. Arkansas back at number 1 and strengthened that hold with the number 1 RPI with their last 2 wins over number 5 Texas. Again, the 2-2.
He's absolutely battling here.
Katie Stewart had that 1 out walk. Robin Herron trying to get out of the inning without any subsequent damage done. Otherwise, Leanne Good is on deck if Atwood can extend things here. Again with 2 outs and a runner on. Got her. Robin Herron will strand a Texas base runner after walking Katie Stewart. And she fans Reese Atwood to keep things level through 1 here in Austin.
Robin Herron just tends to expand the zone on the outside corner.
Courtney Deifel yesterday recording her 400th win as head coach at Arkansas. She is by far the winningest head coach the program has known, rewriting expectations in Fayetteville, and just a fun storyline that, of course, her first win with Arkansas was here in Austin, though not against Texas. It was in a non-conference invitational against North Dakota State. They would meet Texas that year, back when the Longhorns were in the Big 12. Arkansas had only won one of the first 9 meetings all time against Texas. They have significantly upped that win total with 2 in the last 2 days. Here's Tiana Bell leading things off against Tegan Gavon. Bell was 1 for 3 with an RBI against Gavon back in that Thursday 2-0 victory. Went over 2 with a walk yesterday against Texas pitching. Gavon, one of 3 pitchers we saw in the circle. Lolly Gutierrez had a fantastic start. We also saw Cam Salmon and then Tegan. He was just trying to find that pesky 3rd out in the 5th inning. As Bell down on strikes, 1-1. First strikeout for Tegan Gavon.
Tegan working ahead in the zone, just attacking these hitter with what she knows and what she does best. Bell reaching for that ball in the lower half of the zone.
Gives way to Dakota Kennedy, now 3 straight days in the lineup after returning from injury back on Thursday. The senior from California, from their state capital.
Dakota Kennedy is just a tone setter for the Arkansas offense. Let's see if she can set the tone here and get something started.
In her first and final year with the Razorbacks, last year all Big 12 with Arizona, a 2-time All-American.
As a senior, I mean, you're just trying to stay out there, be on the field, do everything you can for your team. So with this injury, it was a setback, but she was doing everything in her power to be on that field and be a contribution to the Arkansas offense and defense.
Did not reach base yesterday, 0 for 3 against Texas pitching. Doesn't get the 4-pitch walk, but still a chance to earn a free pass here against Gavon. Trying to be the first base runner early on for Arkansas today. Gavon able to find the outer edge of the plate now. Back-to-back strikes as the count goes full. Couple of All-Americans matching up here in Austin, Texas. And Gavon gets the better of the exchange. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tegan.
Tegan does a great job of working left-handed hitters up and in. This one looks like it was supposed to be on the outside part of the plate, but ended up being right over the plate.
Young pitchers at home, we don't recommend falling behind in a 3-0 count, but Gavon with 3 straight strikes get her second strikeout on the day. And you see among the top 5 most prolific in Texas history in fanning opposing hitters. There's Carly Davison.
Looks like she left Kennedy a little bit stuck there, not knowing what Tegan was going to throw next.
Davison yesterday 0 for 3 against the Texas pitching staff, after going 0 for 2 with a strikeout against Gavon on Thursday. This is after she was red hot last weekend against Missouri, and ultimately would receive all conference honors player of the week. After falling behind Kennedy 3-0, quickly got out ahead of Davison 0-2. Carly Davison trying to extend this inning. As Gavon just missing. The 2-2 from Kavan. This one launched out towards left. It'll carry, it's gone. Carly Davison with a 2-out blast gives Arkansas the lead as they are eyeing a sweep of number 5 Texas on the road this final weekend in the SEC.
Davison, strong approach here. Teagan went outside and then threw a drop ball that looked to be out of the zone, and Davison gets under it, stays through it, and takes it deep left.
8th home run for the senior, whose first chance to run the base paths all week in Austin did not last long.
Like I said before, it was really who was going to attack first, knowing that they saw these pitchers earlier in this series.
Here's Italia Rijo, who sparked that 2-out rally in the 5th inning yesterday. And Rijo, just like Davison, falling behind early 0-2. And that was the first of 4 singles in the 5th inning yesterday as Rijo led the charge. She'd be the first Razorback to score, followed by 3 of her teammates. And not chasing on that one, 2-2. Rijo, another one of these seniors for Arkansas, the New Yorker, trying to help guide them to a super regional once again, and hopefully to the next stage in the evolution for this program, to the Women's College World Series. Mentioned right now, RPI, they are number 1, along with their strength of schedule. And they are showing their grit, continuing to produce with 2 outs here.
Arkansas can be a little picky right now. The home plate umpire isn't giving fully that river. So unless you have 2 strikes, you can be a little picky.
Couldn't lay off that one. Kavan with 3 strikeouts, but it wasn't 3 up, 3 down. It was Carly Davison able to strike and give the Razorbacks the lead as she goes yard.
Again, Carly Davison just gets under this ball, stays through it, and is able to elevate it over left field wall.
Quite in his 8th year at the helm of this Texas Longhorn program. Of course, last year, guiding them to their first ever national championship after Texas had flirted with their first title in recent years in that championship series. Coming up short a couple of times to the then 4-time champion Oklahoma Sooners in terms of back-to-back-to-back-to-back. Texas ending that reign last year. Now it's the Longhorns with the burden of having the targets on their back. Leanne Good leads things off here in the 2nd. Texas stranded their lone base runner last inning when Katie Stewart got the walk. The only free pass Robin Herron has allowed in her 2 starts this weekend. Good was 1 for 3 against Herron back on Thursday. Also one of the 8 strikeout victims for the Razorback ace. Shows bunt, pulls it back. It's a strike anyways, 1-2.
Leanne has the ability to put that bunt down, kind of just sway the defense different ways.
Pulls this one left side, knocked down by Rijo, able to get back up, but not enough arm to keep Good off the base paths. An infield single for Leanne Good.
When Leanne makes contact, she makes contact. And getting this ball kind of up into the 5-6 hole and not allowing Rijo to make the play allows Leanne to start this inning off strong for Texas.
2nd straight day we've seen an awkward release from Rijo over there at short. And let's see if Texas can do something they couldn't last inning, and that's move the base runner around. Katie Stewart had a 1-out walk last inning. Leanne Good, the first Longhorn to lead off an inning by reaching base. And, well, Hannah Wells found her 11th home run of her freshman year yesterday. If she can find her 12th here, then it's Texas in front A two-way player for the Longhorns. Obviously, pitching opportunities for the freshmen slightly curtailed by the great success of Tegan Gavon and Citlali Gutierrez as starters. Two hits yesterday for the freshmen. Ahead in the count, 3-1 with Good at first.
Well, Wells does a good job of just having this calmness about her, this aura of knowing that she can get the job done in any situation.
The 3-1 from Heron. Sit back and enjoy. Hannah Wells makes it a dozen in her freshman career. And she puts Texas up 2-1 on behalf of the seniors.
I think Hannah Wells is having deja vu right now with that home run that she had in Game 2 against Arkansas. I mean, I kind of just said it, but knowing that she can get in the box and just absolutely do her job in any situation. And look right here, ball down in the zone, she rips it, she stays through it and sends it deep left field, leading Texas now 2-1.
And quickly you turn the page to one of those seniors, Katie Bennett. Again, she began her career at what is now East Texas A&M, members of the Southern Conference. They were Texas A&M Commerce at the time, then transferred to Abilene Christian, and then quickly found her way here to Austin to become a Longhorn these past few years. Hannah Wells, all of a sudden, is the only Longhorn this weekend to produce RBI with fewer than 2 outs.
Katie Bennett has had different roles throughout the years that she's had here at Texas, but just been able to capitalize and accept each role for what it is and know that she can get the job done wherever she's placed in the lineup.
Former track standout in high school. Also, I think still is the all-time kills leader in her high school volleyball program.
Also another lefty in the Texas lineup that can utilize the slap and the bunt when she needs to, depending on what the pitcher's throwing that day.
2-1 to Bennett. This will be trouble. Back-to-back-to-back hits for Texas to spark the home half of the second inning.
As a slapper in these situations, that's the hit that you just wish for would happen every single time you're at the plate. Here, Katie Bennett gets on top of this ball. Ball dies in front of the plate. Heron being a lefty, no play at first.
Mike White started the year talking to us about Katie. More power than in years past, but obviously that was all about the speed. Here's JC Nichols, part of this talented freshman class, as she has become an everyday starter at third with her defense. Her bat has come along well in this first year. 3 straight hits for Texas. And Nichols, another one of these lefties for Mike White. See the constant feedback she gets from the dugout between each pitch. Continuing to be a sponge, just learning every day. Count 1-2.
When I spoke to Coach White earlier this week, he said that JC Nichols was originally sought out to be a defensive specialist for Texas. And then you look up and she's hitting over 350.
Piece of cake, right? This college softball stuff, playing in the SEC. Down on strikes, will foul tip that one back to Kennedy Miller. Hey, a reminder, 25th ranked Florida and 15th ranked Oklahoma play the second game of a big 3-game baseball series tonight in Norman. We'll have it right here for you on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Boy, whether it be on the diamond here in softball or over there by the 90x90 baseball diamond in the SEC, every weekend seems to be a nationally ranked matchup. Of course, baseball regular season still a couple more weekends. In fact, Texas softball hosting this weekend, but Texas baseball beginning their weekend yesterday with a victory over Mississippi State. They're back at it today. Now for the strikeout of Nichols, here's Ashton Maloney, your 9-hole hitter. Started this year in the top of the order. Trying to get this lineup turned over for Caden Henry on deck. Nichols with the strikeout, just the first out this inning. Hannah Wells' 2-run shot, second home run in as many days. The first 2 runs allowed by Robin Heron against Texas this week. One on, one out. 2 away. Couple of strikeouts as Robin Heron bouncing back, her 3rd on the day.
Lefty-lefty matchup for a slapper. To work into a slapper is hard to make contact and know what you're looking for. Heron was able to get that out with a down and in pitch to Ashton Maloney.
Caden Henry popped out to begin the bottom of last inning to the second baseman Carly Davison. See if she can extend things here in the second. Already the 6th batter to come up to face Robin Heron in this frame. So again, Katie Bennett had that single with nobody out, but back-to-back strikeouts has kept her glued to first base. Bennett 4 for 5 this year in stolen bases. See what they do here with 2 outs. And a 1-1 offering to Henry over the right side. That gets through. They will hold Bennett up at second. Look to be the right decision. 4th hit of the inning for the Longhorns. Already more than they had against Robin Heron all of Thursday.
Caden Henry does a great job of finding a pitch in the zone and driving it to move the runner, Katie Bennett.
All right, 2 on for Katie Stewart. Walked last inning, was left on base, but she's going to have to wait. As a couple of coaches for Arkansas, including their head coach, Courtney Deifel, will make their way out onto the dirt.
Heron in game 1 was throwing that changeup really well, able to locate it in different parts of the zone. And today it looks like it's used as a chase pitch, more as a landing pitch in the zone to retire any Texas batters. Having Stewie up with 2 runners on, probably just talking about the plan, how they're going to approach her, what was working best for her in game 1 against Stewart, and how they can attack ahead in the count.
This inning began with Leanne Good getting that leadoff single, followed by Hannah Wells crushing a 2-run shot to give Texas the lead. And let's see if Katie Stewart learned anything from Hannah Wells.
It looks like a pitch out situation for Katie Stewart.
Only third base unoccupied. Got to get a step stool if she's going to offer her bat at that one. Vivi Martinez is on deck. And this will likely be ball 4 here in a moment.
Pitch outs have gotten a lot more scary today, with hitters approaching it as if a ball could possibly come down the middle of the plate for them to hit.
Well, why would Texas think that after their experience last year going all the way to Oklahoma City? Reese Atwood's on deck while we mentioned that. But bases loaded for the Longhorns. They've already plated 2 here in the second. Can they find some production with 2 outs with Vivi Martinez at the plate? Martinez popped out to the right side back in the first inning. That was not an intentional ball 1. Robin Heron very much intends to pitch to Vivi Martinez, the 3-hole hitter. Martinez sends this one to a ride, but it's going to die down in the warning track, and Texas will leave bases loaded. Heron essentially intentionally walking Katie Stewart for good reason, and it pays off, but a little bit too late because Hannah Wells not denied. Her 12th home run trot of her freshman year gives Texas an early lead, 2-1. Today, the final day of the regular season in the SEC, of course, conference tournament on the campus of Kentucky this upcoming week. But you look at the resumes that Texas and Arkansas have built as that strength of schedule for Arkansas. They are just now getting a stranglehold on the #1 RPI with the last 2 wins over Texas. Longhorns will get a shot in the arm if they can find a win against Arkansas today, both based on what they've done all year long. Already the resumes have done just about everything they need. Feel good about their chances of hosting up until OKC, as long as they take care of business on the diamond. Team Gavon has thrown about 180 pitches this weekend, and for the first time, it is with a lead, thanks to Hannah Wells' 2-run shot last half inning. Still seeing the lineup for the first time for Arkansas. This is Kaylee Wyckoff. Saw Tegan a couple years ago when Wyckoff was still playing for those Red Raiders in Lubbock.
I mean, when you go down in the first 2 games like that, you kind of come out in the game 3 with just the mentality of you have nothing to lose. Go out, play your game, know you have defense behind you, and work ahead in the zone.
And another batter who works ahead 3-0 finds themselves now with a full count against Gavon. When you look back at the last 2 days, I don't think Mike White is starting off by being critical of the pitching. Neither day is getting enough run support. Arkansas, again, just had that 1 inning against Texas where every little thing went their way. Not just 4 2-out singles, but a pebble of some sort right in front of Vivi Martinez as a ball took a 3rd hop, and then that's when it decided to get up and over Martinez. Payoff pitch to Wyckoff, the 8-hole hitter. Out towards center. Caden Henry will not need to leave her feet for a diving catch like we saw yesterday. 1 away.
Kaden Henry does such a great job of communicating to her outfielders what she's seeing, where the shifts should be made, and then, again, having that range just like yesterday to be able to come in, communicate, and meet every ball where it's at.
3-year starter in the outfield, the junior for Texas. Here's Kennedy Miller. Mentioned she probably has a pretty good sized cheering section. Her family just up the road where she grew up in Georgetown. Over the left side, Martinez back to the old form. Somebody on that grounds crew got the memo. Bella, you got an inside track to anybody on that grounds crew?
Dominic Dayton.
His senior day.
I blamed him for the pebble in the 5th inning.
There's little bro.
Looks like he got a haircut before his big day. Wonder who told him to do that.
I have a feeling he'll have a few more laps around the infield this postseason when the regionals come around. That's a fun family affair. My understanding is he really got involved so he could see some of your away games and travel with the team a few years back.
Yeah, my last year he was able to travel with us and see my last year here at Texas. It was just so surreal and just one of my greatest years at Texas, I think, by experience.
So he can be sleeping on your floor in Chicago when you're with the Bandits this summer?
He might. I mean, we went all the way, so I'll give him kudos. Maybe he was the good juju.
Back to the top of the order here for Arkansas, Reagan Johnson, who grounded out to Kavon 0 for 1 today. Both the corners for Texas pinching in, but this one finds Martinez, and Katie Stewart able to recover quickly to get back to the bag. A 3-up, 3-down response for Tegan Gavon after being entrusted for the first time this week with a 1-run lead. Texas bats looking for insurance. Final home game, in addition to being the final day of the regular season. Mike White with 7 seniors trying to help lead Texas back to Oklahoma City. Their family members helping us get underway with a ceremonial first pitch. Looked like 7 strikes to me. Take a look as only Kaya Altmaier, not a part of last year's national championship run, coming over from Arizona this year. Somebody who was a part of that run, Reese Atwood, leading things off here in the 3rd inning. It'll be Atwood, Good, and Wells. A combined 2 for 3 today. Atwood struck out back in the 1st. Good and Wells both finding hits for the first time this week against Robin Heron.
I mean, these 7 seniors are leaving it better than they found it, knowing what it takes to win a national championship, showing the people under them and coming in that it is the Texas fight that takes you all the way.
Reese, her sophomore year, set the new career home run single season mark. Of course, her teammate Katie Stewart has already surpassed those numbers, but look at what Reese and all of her senior classmates have combined to do. As you mentioned, leaving the 40 acres better than they found it, and there's still a little bit more work to be done here on the 40 acres before we officially say goodbye to Reese and company.
I remember when Reese came in as a freshman, and she just wanted to be at the World Series so bad. That was her dream, and now she's on the field with a national championship under her belt and looking forward to playing pro once her career ends here at Texas.
And these seniors basically have a whole extra year of softball played in the NCAA postseason. Their years combined. Atwood underneath this one, a sigh of relief for the infield, though miscommunication, but finally Ella McDowell able to call off Rijo. As long as you get the out and keep Atwood off the base paths, Atwood now 0 for 2 today.
Miscommunication on the field here, but rule of thumb is middle infielders have the upper hand when communicating.
Yeah, they were battling each other, but also battling the sun. Here's Leanne Good. Leanne led off last inning with a single, was promptly brought home by Hannah Wells. She actually has 2 hits this week against Robin Heron. Would like to have that one back. Count evens up 1-1 as she chases that one. San Antonio native. Big cut from Good. As Leanne with 9 home runs this year, 4th most on the team.
Leanne has done so great in these pressure situations going into the postseason, but you can't get more postseason than in this matchup right here.
Down on strikes, and that'll give way to Hannah Wells. Yesterday, it was a solo shot to lead off an inning for Texas. At the time, it made it 3-0 for the Longhorns. She'd be the last Longhorn to touch home yesterday. Today, a 2-run blast as Leanne Good was able to join in on the fun after her leadoff single. Wells with home runs 11 and 12 now on the year, coming against the Razorbacks.
I mean, that video looked the exact same. If you put them side by side, I wouldn't even know they were 2 different swings. Just based off the uniform switch, I guess.
Her first 3 career hits, all home runs, and you saw the graphic, 6 of her last 10 hits now home runs. They say inning double plays are a pitcher's best friend, but Hannah Wells, by the time her career is over, might be her own best friend with the run support she can give herself as a 2-way player. The 1-1 from Robin Heron. And there for strike 2. Heron would love to find her first 3-up, 3-down inning here. Keep Texas's lead at just 1 and get the bats back in the hands of her Razorbacks with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up.
Knowing that Hannah Wells took both those home runs pull side, Heron's probably staying arm side here through this at bat, retiring Hannah Wells.
It is a 3-up, 3-down third inning, including 2 more strikeouts for the resume of Robin Heron, the ace, keeping the Razorbacks within 1.
Heron staying arm side, getting that retirement from Hannah Wells.
Final day of the regular season. Longhorns currently up on the Razorbacks 2-1 as we get a chance again to dip back into the Razorback dugout with Courtney Deifel. And Courtney, 4 runs with 2 outs yesterday in that 5th inning. Your run today with 2 outs. I know a head coach, you'd love to see runs a little bit earlier in the inning, but what is the fight that you've seen so far from your team indicate about their readiness for this postseason?
Well, I think head coaches just like to see runs whenever they come. So I don't think we care about early runs, late runs. We just want to see them. So I think we're seeing the ball really well. We have 2 powerhouse pitchers going today, and it's a duel so far. So I hope we stay the course and just keep fighting.
You guys finished strong taking game 2. What's been the key to carrying that momentum into today's middle innings?
I think for us, it's just taking one pitch at a time, one game at a time, and that's what this team's done so well. And it doesn't matter if it's late in the game, we still have a chance. If we have a strike, we have a chance. And so this team just stays the course. They're so businesslike with what they do. It's what they've done all year, and so could feel that from them right now too.
Courtney, appreciate your time. Best of luck on your next 400 wins.
Oh, thank you so much. Whooping.
As she's looking for number 401 today. We'll have a chance to catch up with Mike White in the home half. Lincoln Rose, Bella Dayton with you here in Austin. Final day of the regular season. Already some conference tournaments getting underway. SEC will get underway on Tuesday. These 2 teams likely will be getting started on Wednesday, but with some help, might get an extra day off. Brenly Bain at the plate represents the tying run. Had a fly out to right, 0 for 1 today. And Bain was 1 for 2 with a walk as well against Cavan back on Thursday. One of the top freshmen this year in the nation. 2-time state champion out of Tennessee. Right now, we mentioned a 13-game on-base streak. She leads all Division I freshmen in on-base percentage coming into this weekend at .533. Able to get out of the way of that one. Her head coach, Courtney Deifel, during the week summed her up by just saying she's committed to being great at everything. 2-1 from Cavan. Tempting. Did not swing, and the pitch itself not a strike. It's Bain, McDowell, and Bell, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up to see Cavan for a second time.
As you said, Bain dedicated to everything. She had the role of just hitting earlier in the season and then had to take on the responsibility out in right field and has done a great job so far for the Arkansas defense.
Another Razorback seeing a full count and a backwards K in the books. Cavan with her 4th strikeout in today's start. She has faced just 1 more than the minimum so far.
Tegan working away. At first, you would see the umpire not giving this call early in the game, but Tegan still attacks that river and gets that strikeout.
Yeah, we saw that strikeout. It seemed start to expand a little late on Thursday and yesterday. All the more reason I think these coaches want to see their batters protect the plate. First pitch swinging, Ella McDowell, 0 for 1 today. Mentioned Cavan has so far just faced 1 more than the minimum, but that was a big one. Carly Davison's 2-run home run in the 2nd. Since then, the last 5 batters retired in order. After the first 5 were retired in order. McDowell, 3rd-team All-American last year. Martinez will let this one drop for a hop. Still has plenty of arm. And despite some support from the first base coach on an ambitious, safe call, McDowell is out 2 away.
Viviana Martinez at shortstop, reading the hops based off of what she got yesterday. Able to have a lot of range there at shortstop. Does an incredible job reading the hop and getting that out at first base.
The next time you see a first base coach say that their runner was out will be the first time. This one has a chance to get out. Is it fair or foul? It is a foul ball. Not by much for Tiana Bell.
I feel like I felt a breeze right as that ball went up in the sky.
Again, the former all-conference standout at Cal had a couple of big home runs against Oklahoma, helping snap Oklahoma's 31-game home winning streak when the Razorbacks found yet another one of their impressive resume-building road victories in the SEC, getting the job done up in Norman that day. Bell with 14 home runs on the year, tied for the team lead with Kennedy, who's on deck. Opposite field power towards the warning track to the wall, and it'll be extra bases for Tiana Bell as Maloney could not haul it in. Tying run in scoring position, and of course it's with 2 outs for Arkansas.
Bell taking this opposite field. As an outfielder, when you have somebody in the opposite batter's box working away, the ball tends to peel towards the line. Ashton gets this jump and then redirects herself to try and get this ball on the wall, which then leaves Bell on second base.
They are going to run for Tiana Bell as that represents the tying run. Once again, they will go to Jaden Wells, the Paris, Arkansas junior. Wells was able to score yesterday in that 5th inning as a pinch runner.
I mean, you don't see a 10-foot wall that often to play off of.
So Dakota Kennedy looking to continue this 2-out trend for the Razorbacks. Struck out looking back in the 2nd. First time today to see Kavon in a big cut. Tiana Bell with just the 2nd hit today for Arkansas. This is the first time Kavon's pitched with a base runner on. And right now that runner being Wells dancing on your screen in scoring position. With 2 outs, the 1-1 offering. And let's see if Kennedy tries to protect against anything close after watching strike 3 go by back in the 2nd inning. Mentioned she too with 14 home runs for the team lead. Not chasing that one.
Runner on second. Outfielders still seem to be playing pretty normal, if not a little bit deeper. Just in case the ball is hit out there, it leaves them to not have that backside runner in scoring position.
Got her again, this time stranding the tying run in scoring position. Texas still up 2-1 through 4. Heading into the home half.
Looks like Tegan Kamban was working in, and then this inning was working away to left-handed batters to get that chase from Kennedy.
Head to the plate, chance to catch up with head coach of the defending national champions, Mike White. Mike, obviously senior day, so naturally I'm going to ask you about a freshman, Hannah Wells. Sum up her first season on campus if you can.
Yeah, it's been impressive so far. I mean, she's learning every week she goes out there, every at-bat she takes and every pitch she throws. So it's just a pleasure to coach, and is intrigued to find out how she can get better. So I love that about her.
Your team seems to be a little bit more punctual at the plate. What was the message going into today's game?
Oh, we got to be aggressive early in the count. You know, we get into 2 strikes and we're putting ourselves in some tough situations, so especially with the change-ups they're throwing us. So we're trying to avoid that if we can.
Mike, always appreciate your time. Best of luck.
You bet. Welcome.
As Caden Henry's Boy, it looked a lot like Caden Henry, but the hair was a little different.
She was wearing that wig in warm-ups this morning. I thought she was a staff member.
She'll have to wait for her senior day next year. It is senior day for Katie Bennett. Katie with a single in the second inning. One of 3 runners left on in that second inning with bases loaded, though Texas had already struck for 2 runs thanks to the blast from Hannah Wells. It is the bottom third of the order for Texas. Bennett, Nichols, and Maloney, a combined 1 for 3 today. Appreciate the time of both head coaches and all of the head coaches we've had a chance to chat with throughout the year. Great ambassadors for their teams.
Coach White touched on just how good the bottom of the lineup is doing. And right now, I mean, you have 3 triple threats in a row.
Bennett not chasing that one in the dirt. Katie seeing a reduced role from last year where she made 64 starts in 65 games. But as you've seen, when she gets her chances, she's been ready. Had that single last time up, this time the ground out to the right side. Davison over to Bell as they keep the leadoff hitter for Texas off the base paths for a second straight inning. That'll give way to J.C. Nichols. Struck out back in the second inning against Robin Heron. Over to the left side, Rijo. Well done. That is a tough ball dropping in front of her as Razorbacks looking to rally here against number 5 Texas. Hey, a reminder, tomorrow the Rally Cap crew will break down the SEC baseball and softball weekend. Highlights, analysis, and interviews. They'll also get you set for the upcoming week with a look at the best matchups. Coverage begins 6 Eastern, 5 Central right here on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Let's see if Texas and Arkansas can give them a few more moments to look back on.
3 slappers in a row, all able to do different things. Astra Maloney, just a power slapper. J.C. Nichols able to place the ball, and Katie Bennett just does what she feels best for herself. But in this situation, what will work best for Texas in order to put runners on?
Only a couple Longhorns have had more career hits all time than Ashley Maloney, but she will suffer the same fate as back in the second inning. Robin Heron, another strikeout and another perfect inning to keep it a 1-run affair here in Austin. 2 outs when Carly Davison came to the plate, and for the 8th time this year, added another home run to her resume as a Razorback. That was a short-lived lead. And Davison with some punch, and will be leading off here in the 5th. If she does it again, we're tied. You look at the uptick in production from a year ago for Davison with fewer games played. Already 14 more RBI than last season.
Just a transfer addition that has brought so much depth and clutchness offensively for the Razorbacks. She's nearly hitting 100 points over in her batting average.
Yeah, comes over from Utah. Of course, her dad, Scott, a pitcher for the Mariners. She had an off-season surgery, but Coach Courtney Deifel noticed that she really spent that time just connecting with her teammates, making the most of her time in recovery before she was ready to go to start the season. Now in her 2nd year with the program. And she is your reigning SEC Player of the Week after her performances in Columbia, Missouri. I think she just woke up the SIDs with that foul ball in the press box next to us.
I wouldn't know what to do if it came my way.
Heads up, Hunter and Grace. 1-2 offering from Tegan Kavan. Razorbacks have 2 hits today, one of them from Davison, who will be sat down with the 6th strikeout today for Tegan.
Tegan again, like I said before, was really crushing lefties and righties with that rise ball up and in. And now she's really attacking on the outside corner with that curveball.
Gives way to Italia Rijo, who made a great stop at shortstop last half inning defensively.
Just painting the corners. Looks like the umpire is giving a little bit more compared to the start of the game.
They count 1-1.
In a situation like this, when the umpire starts to expand a little more, Arkansas needs to relay this bat to bat, who's up at bat, relaying it to the girl on deck and throughout the dugout.
And all of a sudden behind in the count, 1-2. With one out, nobody on. Wyckoff is on deck, followed by Kennedy Miller. Razorbacks, bottom third of the order, struggled against Cavan on Thursday. I mentioned they were the bright spot, sparking that two-out rally yesterday in the fifth inning. Cavan still working with that one-run lead. The count evens up 2-2. Of course, Arkansas last year hosted Ole Miss in the Super Regional. Ole Miss would wind up taking games 1 and that decisive game 3 in Fayetteville to be one of the 5 SEC teams in the 8-team field in Oklahoma City last year. Before that, Arkansas has a sour taste in their mouth from a Super Regional when they hosted Texas. 2-2, and that'll get through. A one-out base hit for Rijo. Third hit today for the Razorbacks. Tying run is aboard. And just the second time today, Cavan will have a base runner to contend with. First time it's with fewer than 2 outs.
The person that started their rally yesterday, she's a little out in front of that pitch, but was able to stay through it and keep it going up the middle.
Again, Kaylee Wyckoff, one of the 3 Katy High School products, though didn't go straight to Fayetteville. Had the stopover at Texas Tech, where she was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year and twice All-Conference in the Big 12. Reese Atwood, your National Catcher of the Year for a reason. Able to keep that one in front of her and keep the runner at first. Runner on first with 1 out. And Cavan flirting now with perhaps her 7th strikeout on the day. Wyckoff flied out to center to lead off the third inning, 0 for 1 in this ball game. Into foul territory towards the bullpen, where the ball is caught, but it's not going to record an out. Lolly Gutierrez is among those warming up, along with Hannah Wells.
Secretly an outfielder.
Lolly looked good yesterday in her start. Just couldn't find that out in the 5th inning that Texas needed. The 1-2 to Wyckoff. Count evens up at 2-2. Let's give you another look at the out that wasn't.
Lolly Gutierrez warming up, but doing her job as the 4th outfielder in the bullpen.
Tying run on first with 1 out for Arkansas. The 8-hole hitter Wyckoff will send this out to Caden Henry in center. That will keep Rijo at first base as she made her way halfway down to second. 2-1. It is not easy to get a ball out here, not just a 10-foot wall, but no wind to help you at McCombs Field. So when you look at 24 home runs for Katie Stewart There's almost needs to be an adjustment compared to some of the numbers you're seeing around the country of other record breakers. Here's Kennedy Miller, popped out to Vivi Martinez back in the third, 0-for-1 today. Again, 2 trips to the state tournament for Kennedy with Georgetown. The first one, though, I don't believe was here. I think due to rain, they had to play on an artificial field. But her junior year wrapped up here as your state runner-up with the Eagles. Their first 2 ever trips to the state tournament under her watch. Looking to extend her 18-game on-base streak. Team best. Something you appreciate from your 9-hole hitter, who right now is ahead in the count 2-1, with Rijo still on first.
Miller isn't just a steady presence in the Arkansas lineup, but is a steady presence behind the plate when managing one of the SEC's top pitching staffs.
Put a 7th K on the backstop. Kavon keeps Texas in the driver's seat. Same as the 6th seed, each of them getting the first day off. Back to the top of the order for a 3rd time today, Caden Henry with a single and a ground out, and it is Saylor Timmerman for a 2nd straight day coming in relief with her team trailing. And she shut down the Longhorns, did not allow a hit, struck out 7. Henry, boy, nice composure by Carly Davis, and that ball ate her up, got up on the palm, but still composed and able to get the throw over.
Timmerman, yesterday, 47 strikeouts on the season. 7 happened in her 4 innings pitched last night. About 2 strikeouts per inning for her appearance in game 2. Absolutely dominated with her drop ball out of the zone, and then being able to switch eye levels for Texas with that rise. Sitting at mid-60s, 64 to 66 miles per hour.
Katie Stewart behind in the count with 1 out. As we often see from Arkansas, a defensive change in left field towards the end of the game. Kyler Del Duca in for Wyckoff. Wyckoff got that final plate appearance in last half inning and can always re-enter if needed. Stewart to the left side, off the glove of McDowell. Still have time almost to make it close from Rijo. Wow.
They always say, finish the play no matter what happens. Rijo does a great job of backing up here and completing the play regardless of what happens in the beginning. Close play at first base. Katie Stewart still safe there.
You'd almost think Rijo had to barehand that ball, but no, went glove, got it out, got it over almost in time. We'll let the official score determine the rest. As Vivi Martinez 0 for 2 today, it is an infield single for Katie Stewart after she had walked twice today.
You go from a pitcher like Heron, who throws pretty much the upper half of the zone with that changeup to follow, to Timmerman, who has that hard drop out of the zone. How do you adjust? How do you make those in-game adjustments to
Katie
attack?
Stewart on her horse. And they will slam on the brakes, initially thinking about bringing her around. As that was a rocket off the bat of Vivi Martinez. Mike White says, let's not gamble. We've got Reese Atwood coming up now with 2 teammates in scoring position.
Speaking of in-game adjustments, Vivi Martinez sees that this ball is hovering over the middle inside part of the plate, and that's the exact pitch that she's looking for. Drives it to right center, moves those runners.
So Timmerman did not allow a hit yesterday in relief. Has given up back-to-back hits, the single and double from Stewart and Martinez. And here's Reese Atwood 0 for 2 today, looking for her first chance to chime in. Adea Wallace will try to come home in the final 60 feet to give Texas insurance for the first time today. An all-time RBI leader for the Longhorns, 54 of which coming this year. She broke that record last season. Wallace on third, Martinez on second with one out.
One out. Perfect situation for situational hitting.
Mike White's asking for time. He's going to talk to Reese Atwood and buy a little bit more time for some amateur umpires in the crowd to discuss with one of the three individuals employed today their thoughts on that last call. I think he just needs Reese to be mindful to protect the plate against anything close based on what they've seen this weekend. Too many times Longhorns caught looking at strike three. Ball in play off the glove, so there is no throw to be made. Add another RBI to the resume of Reese Atwood as Adea Wallace comes home the final 60 feet. If that ball is fielded cleanly, we likely see a throw to the plate.
I think Coach White in this situation was telling his runners, anything on the ground, you are going. And for Viviana Martinez on second base, really didn't see her behind her to try and make that effort to get her out at third base.
Credit Kennedy Miller immediately telling her shortstop, don't bother looking anywhere but first. But in the end, even that was going to be a luxury they couldn't afford. Taylor Anderson will come in and run for Reese Atwood, the transfer from Oklahoma State. Former track standout nearby at Dripping Springs High School. Just buried on the depth chart for the defending national champions. Runner going, Anderson with no tag applied as they cut it off. At that point, you might as well receive the throw, try to get the runner, because Martinez was not straying off a third.
That pinch running rule is just as important as any other rule. I mean, you're coming into the game needing to be aware of every situation, what your job is, and the job is to try and score.
One of the best teams in the nation at turning double plays does not have that luxury here with Anderson moving to second. So no easy way to get out of this fifth inning, as Texas has already plated one and still threatening. Number 2 in the nation this year, the Razorbacks with 34 double plays turned. Last 2 years have been among the best in the country in fielding percentage. Good, takes a stab at it, gets a piece of it, but foul. And Adea Wallace, the first pinch runner this inning, has already scored. Right now it's Martinez on third. After her double, Taylor Anderson on second.
That was the second squeeze missed on the weekend. Coach White tried to squeeze in game 2 as well.
So now Good swinging away. That one off the netting. Keep the count at 2-2. Sailor Timmerman was brilliant yesterday in relief, helping preserve that comeback win for the Razorbacks. And Leanne Good was about a day and a half ahead of that pitch. Just determined to get a barrel on it. Two in scoring position, a tough hop up the middle, and Leanne Good will continue the good times for the Burnt Orange. Martinez comes home. A two-run fifth inning. Still just one out.
There she goes with one of her unsung hero moments, just built for these moments to come back for the team and score some runs. Maybe not the hit that she wanted, but was able to get that RBI and be safe at first.
It moves Anderson to third after Martinez comes home as your second run of this inning. So now runners on the corners for Texas with Hannah Wells due up. Of course, Hannah Wells did her damage against Robin Heron earlier today with the 2-run blast in the second. Texas with their second 2-run inning now. Something they never managed yesterday was a crooked number. See what Hannah Wells can do against Sailor Timmerman. And yesterday, it was against Burnham. Her 11th on the year, and today she made it a dozen, conquering that outfield wall once more against Robin Heron. National High School Player of the Year, adapting well to the college game. And naturally, she squares around for a bunt, as Leanne Good will be the next Longhorn to take 60 feet. And again, erasing the traditional double play threat.
It's hard to know what to do in a situation like this with a runner on first and third. Do you give the runner on first the chance to be in scoring position, or do you go all the way through in hopes to get that runner out at second?
Sixth batter of the inning. Texas has really twisted opposing defenses at times into knots with their base running. Often a runner on first strategically drifting away from the bag, and when it's all said and done, the runner on third coming home. Wells liner out to left, and this is a late tag, and it's going to be a double play to get the Razorbacks out of the inning. Anderson was off third when that ball was caught, had to go back. When she came home, could not beat the throw, but not before Texas has plated 2 runs of insurance. Onto the 6th we go. And today, Longhorns finally giving her first lead to work with and building on that lead. Of course, she's doing her part. Now 7 strikeouts of the 18 batters she has faced on this Game 3 Saturday to close out the regular season.
Vaughn just being super unpredictable with her pitches right now. Driving the river on that outside corner with her curveball, but coming right back in to eliminate Arkansas's lineup.
The only earned run today was Carly Davison's 2-out home run blast in the second that briefly gave Arkansas a 1-0 lead, before Hannah Wells reclaimed it with a 2-run shot the next half inning. Back to the top of the order for the Razorbacks. That means back to Reagan Johnson. Johnson's second team All-SEC last year. Again, the Texan already #1 all-time in hits in this Razorback program, #2 in career batting average. And she is flirting with the all-time stolen base record as well. Just trying to get on for the first time today.
Hasn't fully been able to reach base yet to wreak havoc on the base paths.
Johnson, Bain, and McDowell due up. Combined 0 for 6 today against Cavan. As Arkansas down to their final 6 outs if they are going to find a sweep here in Austin. A couple of ground outs from Johnson so far. They'll peel down, say no swing. They still haven't instituted polling the audience as an option in the SEC. So Johnson will live to see another pitch, a 1-2 offering from Cavan. Growing up in Iowa and West Des Moines, the nature of the softball season, did not actually play high school softball. This will get down and left. Bennett will quickly send it back into Martinez, and that is a leadoff base hit for Reagan Johnson, who can now go to work, although Texas all of a sudden extra thankful that they found some insurance last half inning.
Reagan was unable to get on with her ground outs to the infield. Speaking of that two-hop slap, that just comes easy to her, and she's so quick, you blink and she's safe. So she tried something new, poked one to left field.
It's the first time the leadoff batter in an inning for Arkansas reaches base today. Let's see what the Razorbacks can do with it. Friendly Bain, a flyout and a strikeout so far today.
Reagan Johnson, 18 for 18 on the year with stolen bases.
Only thing better would be 19 for 19. But again, luckily for Texas, she does not represent the tying run, which would have been true for much of this game. Texas played a 2 in the bottom of the 5th to give Kavan a little bit of breathing room. With a runner on and nobody out, line drive to Martinez, who will stare the runner back. Johnson avoids getting doubled up. One away.
Hot right here off the bat. Vivi Martinez didn't even have to move a step to get this ball, was in the perfect shift.
So 1 on, 1 out for Ella McDowell. Mentioned McDowell back in her home state. Product out of Richmond, Texas, Foster High School. We noted the finish to her senior year in high school a little dull. 11 straight intentional walks to close out her career. I'm curious if she even bothered to bring a bat to the plate for those final few plate appearances.
She just knew.
It's gone on to be an All-American now. Last year, third-team All-American as a freshman. That ball foul. And a sophomore right now with a 1-2 count. Just trying to give Arkansas some base runners here, down to their final 5 outs. Reagan Johnson, a leadoff single, is still there at first. The one downside of that safety base, a little harder for some of these speedsters to get the jump they want when they're accustomed to actually beginning from behind the bag.
Yeah, there's different ways you could go about setting up on this base. You can go straight up on the bag like Reagan Johnson is doing currently, or you can set up on the outside of the bag so your body is fully flat on the field.
2-2 pitch pending to McDowell, the 3-hole hitter. And she'll see another one.
Reagan Johnson hasn't yet attempted to steal on Reese Atwood, but maybe they're in a situation of staying back, allowing Arkansas's lineup, who is fluid throughout, to do their job and move the runners.
Yeah, even on pitches in the dirt, a lot of respect for the National Catch of the Year. And on a drop third strike and a runner already on first, you cannot take first base. Atwood gives it a throw anyways. 2 away on the strikeout. Now with 2 outs, you can try to take advantage on a drop third strike, though Arkansas would like to avoid that scenario. Reagan Johnson led off with a single. 2 batters later, she is still standing on first as pitching coach for the Longhorns. Patty Ruth Taylor will make her way out to talk to her All-American battery. As you see the breakdown, how the outs are recorded today with Kavan in the circle.
Tegan seemed to be unfazed by the runner on first. Continue to do her job and attack the zone, and I think that's what Patty Taylor is reminding her to do right now. In these moments, she shines. She's able to work ahead and allow the defense to work behind her.
I think one thing they're talking about is Tiana Bell and how if you just barely miss on a pitch, she can make you pay. But at least with the insurance from last inning, even a home run from Bell here, Texas would be hanging on to a 1-run lead. First, Bell narrowly pulled one, just left of the pole in left, and then ultimately, of course, would go opposite field at the top of the 10-foot wall for a double.
Just missed. And getting that go-ahead home run in the 3-2 win over Oklahoma, Bell is built for any situation.
Could not lay off that one. 0-1 count now facing Kavan. Again, Reagan Johnson on first, but we'll go ahead and just say she's in scoring position with her speed. If Bell can find another extra base hit, the Razorbacks looking to plate their first run since they took a 1-0 lead in the second. As they're hoping for more two-out production here and not leaving it all up to a 7th inning comeback. Texas has their bottom third of the order due up again. I mean, we just take for granted that we've got number 5 Texas and number 7 Arkansas playing 3 straight days of some nail-biting college softball. So the Razorbacks look back fondly at the first 2 days, despite a great start from Kavan on Thursday.
Reese Atwood just giving Tegan Kavan a deep breath here in this situation. She's working behind in the count right now. Probably just deciding on what works best when facing Bell.
And that will push Reagan Johnson finally off of first base down to second. And for the first time today in an inning, the Razorbacks have multiple base runners. First free pass today for the Razorback batters. And here's Dakota Kennedy, who does represent now the tying run for Arkansas with 2 outs.
Kennedy getting comfortable in the box after her recent injury. I mean, just a table setter for their offense. Can she come out of that and just be the tone setter that she is with that offensive spark?
And she is tied with Bell, who just walked for the team lead with 14 home runs. Johnson on second, Bell on first. The DP Kennedy has struck out twice today against Kavan. And Tegan hoping she's 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning with a 3-run lead. Two on for the Razorbacks with 2 outs on the road here in the 6th inning. A foul back to the backstop.
Dakota Kennedy is one of 3 people on this field with an AU golden ticket.
Not chasing that one. That golden ticket again will mean that she'll have a chance to play in the AUSL this summer. Right now, she's determined to keep this Razorback career going as long as possible, hopefully culminating with a trip to Oklahoma City. The 2-2 from Kavan. Got her for a 3rd time. Razorbacks threaten, but strand a pair in the 6th. It's Texas hoping to bring their bats for a final time on this senior day in the home half of the 6th inning.
Tegan Kavan getting the momentum back for Texas going into the bottom of the 6th right now.
With tremendous resumes again heading into the postseason, shouldn't be too difficult of decisions for the NCAA committee to make. when it comes to the SEC once again. Bottom third of the order, Katie Bennett getting the start in the 7-hole today and out in left field here on senior day. A freshman on deck in J.C. Nichols. As Texas just trying to give Tegan Gavon a little bit more to work with heading into the 7th inning with Arkansas down to their final 3 outs at the moment, needing 3 runs to keep this game going. See if Texas can extend the lead. Bennett a single in the 2nd, grounded out to lead off the 4th, 1 for 2 today.
Bennett was working her slap earlier this game, but with a drop ball pitcher like Timmerman, it's probably best to stand in the box and swing away.
And both these teams will head to Lexington this next week for the conference tournament. The last year of the conference tournament will be on a host school campus. We're heading to Huntsville, Alabama for a neutral site venue. Of course, Texas, when they were in the Big 12, had the luxury of playing that championship in Oklahoma City, getting a taste of what things would be like if they got back to the Women's College World Series, which they often did. They count 2-2 to the 7-hole hitter Bennett. And Sailor Timmerman coming in last inning after not giving up a hit, striking out 7 Longhorns in relief yesterday. There's a 3-hit 5th inning that produced 2 runs of insurance. As Bennett inside out will send this one on a hop into the bullpen. Out of play. Defensive change for the Razorbacks, again for defensive purposes, out in right field. Ramsey Walker coming into the game, affectionately known as Rambo to her friends and teammates, the sophomore out of Shreveport. Her dad, Clint, former Razorback baseball player. And Bennett down on strikes, foul tip back into the glove, 1 away.
Bennett trying to protect the plate here, ends up fouling it off. And Miller behind the plate, securing that strikeout.
Nichols offering at the first pitch, 0 for 2 today. Batting in the 8-hole for the Longhorns. Yeah, the batting average still at .333. We'll have to be a little bit more defensive now in an 0-2 hole. Ashton Maloney on deck for Texas. Right back at Timmerman, able to glove it in the circle, 2 away. So again, the freshman in the circle, about to see another senior for Texas. Ashton Maloney. And in lieu of one senior, they'll bring another one in. Vic Hunter with a sizable cheering section of her own, the Houston product. Officially a junior public relations major. Looking to extend this home half of the 6th inning. Mike White sums her up as a professional hitter. Had some pop in the lineup at times. Right now, heading the count 2-1 with 2 outs, nobody on. See if she can get Caden Henry another chance at the plate if she extends the inning here. 2-2. Arkansas has their 6, 7, and 8-hole hitters due up. That includes your home run hitter, Davison. First two batters retired by Timmerman this inning. Hoping to face the minimum, but the count goes full with 2 outs to the pinch hitter, Vic Hunter. Payoff pitch with 2 outs from Timmerman. And it's a pinch hit walk for Vic. They will run for her with Ashton Maloney, who re-enters the ball game. And it's back to the top of the lineup for the Longhorns with Caden Henry. Caden 1 for 3 today. Hoping to move Maloney around the base paths here with 2 outs. It was last inning, Texas finally found insurance with a 2-run spot. They've scored the last 4 runs of this contest against Arkansas. Just beyond the reach of Kennedy Miller. Looking for the 3rd out there. And they love Kennedy behind the plate. Especially literally doing the dirty work on pitches in the dirt. And she's come back to her backyard of Central Texas. Already secured a weekend series against number 5. Henry, this will stay fair. The catcher looking for not so much the force out, but Miller anticipating that perhaps the runner might be a bit aggressive and round the bag. She did not think she would have a chance to get Henry over at first. Texas now with 2 base runners with 2 away.
Something some people would say would be a slapper, but hit off the bat for Caden Henry down the line. Just an advantage for Texas with her speed.
I mean, that was the best option for Kennedy Miller, was just hoping that Maloney would round second. You could quickly apply the tag to get out of the inning. Instead, there are 2 on for Katie Stewart. It is an infield single for Caden Henry, who's 2 for 4 today. Katie Stewart's yet to be retired, a single and 2 walks. And this might get the Razorbacks back to the plate one final time. It's a 3-run ball game, and the Razorbacks have 3 outs to work with if they want to take all 3 here in Austin. With a double by, Tegan Kavan looking to close out a complete game victory on this final day. It would technically be a comeback win for Texas after surrendering a solo blast in the top of the 2nd. Texas has scored the last 4 runs. As again, Davison at the plate, who had that home run, looking to go opposite field. This one's going to be pushed over towards foul territory and out of play. We've got a couple seniors of our own on our crew. A big thanks to our folks Isaac, who has set all sorts of presumably unbreakable records on the production side, and Marissa as well on the score bug. I believe Marissa with a perfect game today on the bug. Did I jinx her? Is it too early? Davison, Rijo, and Del Duca at the moment would be your 3 due up. We'll see if they re-enter Wyckoff in that 3rd spot. Davison today, the home run in the 2nd, the strikeout against Kavan. One of the 9 strikeouts for Kavan today.
A home run or just getting on by a walk could possibly give Arkansas a momentum shift.
See that Captain C on her chest. The 2-2 from Tegan. And that is a close one to take. But Davison will live to see another.
7th inning here. When you're down, you can't be timid. You have to attack your at-bats and foul off until you get pitch that you want to drive.
Payoff pitch, left side, Martinez. Nobody questions whether she has the arm. 1-away. Razorbacks down to their final 2 outs. Mind you, if Texas hangs on, this is a win over a top team that's going to give your resume another boost in RPI.
12 complete games on the year for Tegan Gavon. This could be her 13th. Only 1 walk on the day compared to her 9 strikeouts for the Arkansas lineup.
Well, this is Rijo again yesterday. Helped spark that 1 run where they produced 4. That's all they needed for the victory to win the weekend series. And Rijo come through again. Already had the single back in the 5th. 1 for 2 today against Gavon. Left side. Nichols at the hot corner. 2 away. So Kaylee Wyckoff will re-enter. She is 0 for 2 today with a couple of fly balls to center field. Out to Caden Henry. And we had seen the defensive substitution once again with Kyler Del Duca out there. The freshman. Wyckoff back with the bat in her hand as the Razorbacks down to their final out. Texas thankful that Tegan Gavon not being celebrated on Senior Day. She still has another year here on the 40 acres. What a career it's already been. 1-1 to Wyckoff, out of play. Texas took a 2-1 lead in the second with the home run from the freshman Hannah Wells, her second home run in as many days. They added 2 more runs in the 5th. Given the 3-run margin. Razorbacks down to their final out, perhaps down to their final strike. Gavon delivers. Bowl game. 10th strikeout proves to be the punctuation as Texas defends their home diamond on Senior Day to close out the regular season.
Tegan with 2 strikes. Working ahead and being the dominant arm that she is. Working up in the zone, belt high, re-securing that strike behind the plate, leading Texas to their 3rd game victory of the series.
For a 2nd straight year, Texas will go 16-8 in the SEC as now they set their sights for Lexington, Kentucky. And the conference tournament, all that seeding will be finalized before you go to bed tonight.
Last win of the series taken by Texas. Might be just the momentum going into the SEC tournament. Leaving off with a win on Senior Day with great weather here in Austin, Texas.
No shortage of nationally ranked battles once the conference tournament gets underway, and then all eyes on the NCAA postseason and the ultimate prize. For Bella Dayton, I'm Lincoln Rose saying so long from Austin. Big thanks to our entire crew. The Longhorns topple the Razorbacks on this final day, 4-1 your final. Hey, be sure to tune in to SEC softball tournament beginning Tuesday on SEC Network and ESPN. To watch this game in its entirety, you can visit the ESPN app or watch ESPN.com. This has been a presentation from Austin, Texas of ESPN.